Hi everybody, and welcome to Truewants. So here we try to help you make that decision if it's going to change from a want to a need. Now, I do not edit here. I film as best I can. I try to get as much information out there as quickly as possible, and the best way for me to do it is to not edit. And it seems to have been working we're going into our 6th year come this summer, which is mind-blowing to me. However, I had the opportunity this weekend to share some of the goodies that we got this month, and I still had a lot left over. I think enough for 2 more Get Ready With Me. So that's how much makeup was in all of our boxes this month, at least the ones that I get on my channel. So as you know, I have 2 paid for accounts just with Ipsy, with 2 BoxyCharms, 2 glam bags, and then today we had the opportunity to have choice for the glam bag for the month of April. And it was tougher because even with all the amazing spoilers that we get the opportunity to do on this channel, there were still some surprises, which is always what makes it fun to be part of Ipsy. However, I wanted to sit down and do some more because I have actually a video call that I have later on today. So I figured, okay, all that's done, all that's up. You guys are sharing in the comments, which is always a lot of fun that we share with each other what we ended up choosing. And then some of the amazing deals that are going on right now that they just started with these twofers again, which is really, really a lot of fun. It used to be the flash sales that I used to look forward to on Glam Bag Choice Day. And now they've started this new thing called Dream Sets. Really, really good. And I had the opportunity to go through all of that with you there. So now I've already done all my prep work, very similar to what was in my last Get Ready With Me on Saturday. So I will make sure to link that. I'll do my best to link that in the video description down below. So if you missed that, you'll catch up on a lot of the products that I went through in that video. All I've done so far is when I sat down, I just refreshed with this because this morning I used a large amount of this cool, fantastic under eye. I felt it really brightened up my eyes this morning. We are already now probably 5 hours since I've done all of that prep work. And now I'm just going to go in with some of the items that I normally would use. This time I'm going to be using the Catrice Under Eye Brightener. I talk about this all the time. This to me is the closest dupe to the Becca, but I love my one from Skin Foods that I've shared with you in previous videos. I just take a stippling brush and I do a little bit underneath my eyes so we can get this going. And get rid of this so I won't look so tired, or at least give me the illusion that I'm not as tired as I feel. And then we're just going to leave that sit for just a couple of minutes while I use the same primer that I pulled out last time because it's on the desk and I didn't pull out a new one. This is the one from Seraphim Botanicals. This is really nice. I think this is good for everybody, not just a combo girl like me, but this has a beautiful scent to it. It's really, really refreshing. So I figured I would do that. I hope I have a mirror here and I just don't want it to block too much from the video here because I'm doing my best with a different setup to be able to film for you guys these type of videos so that you can see some of the products in action. And it also saves me some time also if I can get this done at the same time. But it definitely takes longer when you film. So I gave myself a little extra time today to be able to do some of this. So while this sinks in, I will then do the stippling with this. So I hope everybody's having a really good choice day. And I'm wondering if anyone else is watching The White Lotus. I don't know. I remember it being a lot better. I don't know if it's just I'm impatient. It just seems to be dragging, like the storyline, but it might just be me. All right, so that's that. And then I just take a smaller stippling to more like a little mini kabuki to just get it all in. Okay, so we still have the under eye bags. There's not much I can do for that right now. And I should start pulling out some of the iPads that we have. But the days are getting away from me. I don't know if you guys are having this too. And this is, you know, we're getting close to the end of the month. I'm just going to be using my Milani just to put a little bit in where the pore areas are. It seemed to really do a really nice job with the Mario foundation. Today we're going to be doing the one from Morphe. Both of them I picked up in the add-on section. You guys, a lot of you that I've had the opportunity to watch, have shared that you even had it as an item that was chosen for you. And some of you even felt the item that was chosen for you based on the color wasn't for you, and you ended up picking it up in the add-ons because it was a really good deal. But like I shared with you, Morphe of yesteryear is not the Morphe of today. So the few products that I've had the opportunity to try have been really a lot of fun, and they've really performed really, really well. I have a hair that I'm feeling, but we'll see if I can see it. Okay. Yeah, this is not a sticky. It just is like a hydration, which is what I feel I need right now. What I'm gonna do, I've just dampened a sponge, and I'm just gonna shake this guy up. The shade that I chose for myself is 8N. I was torn between choosing 5N and 8N, but when I went into the add-ons, 8N was the one that was available to me, so that was what I ended up choosing. I'm just gonna put a little pump here, and as you can see, it's a little runny, but it seems to have some really nice coverage. And we'll just do this quickly. Was really impressed with that other brush that I shared with you that I got on Amazon, that they're saying it's more of a Korean type of brush. It really got into all the angles, and it was a nice way to get the product onto your face if you're not putting it directly on like a sponge or, okay. I think that gave some really nice coverage. I just want a little bit more simply because I'm going to be filming on a camera. And I'm a little bit nervous because normally I wear products that I know work and don't work, but as I shared with you in the last video, I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone, and the only way I can do that is if I try some of the new products with you on camera, so you get to see them, so that if they are available in the future, you guys will have access to them too. I love how other channels say, I buy it so you don't have to. I'm not like that. I buy it because I want it, and hopefully if it works out, or it doesn't work out, I get the opportunity to share with you guys, and then you guys are able to make the decision based on what you're seeing and my mini reviews that I try to do when all the sales are going on. Okay, and that's as up close as I can get to you guys, but I think that gave some really nice coverage. And the Mario and all of that really lasted all day and was just beautiful. So really, really happy with that, and happy with the products that we used in the last video. There was not one dud. So keeping my fingers crossed. I think that's why I'm coming to the plate, was saying to myself, okay, I'm willing to try it and film with you guys here, and then hope that it looks okay on camera. So this is what I chose for myself in the add-ons. It's LN3. I'm gonna put a little bit on my back of my hand here because I also have, and it's a little bit in the here, so I'm just gonna put it first where I want it, under my eyes. And then I'm gonna share with you, I have the full size in a darker color, and I just wanna see the difference. So I'm gonna do that with you guys here. I brought them both out. I'm so not used to using concealers with my finger, but because this is a small tube, we don't have much of a choice. So I'm gonna just let this sit for a little bit. And then we're gonna look at the two colors. So this is the LN3. It doesn't feel like there's a lot in the tube, but you need very little with concealer. And to be able to see a color for this price, I thought was amazing. So that is the one that's LN3. And then the full size one that I have is here. And I think this is, yeah, this is LN6. And that's the way the dough applicator looks. And we'll just do it right beside it here. Yeah. So to me, the LN3 for me is the shade that I would like for under my eyes. I like to brighten it up a little bit, but if I have a blemish or anything like that, I think the LN6 will work out just fine. But that's the big difference between the two. So LN6 and LN3. And that's why I also like the $3 section, the $3.50 section, is you get to try different shades and different things. Even the mini mascaras, you would never be able to get a mini mascara for $3.50. I used to buy them for $10 at Sephora. And then I always share with you that the brush and the formula, I was told, is the same that's in the full size. So great way to try a lot of different mascaras. All right, so let's blend this in. Again, I'm going to use the BK brush that I picked up from Amazon. And it really blends in everything really, really pretty. And I end up putting concealer on the areas that I'm going. This is to brighten, but also on my chin. I don't know if you guys find, but I find probably, you know, I'm the type that like puts my makeup on first thing in the morning, and then the touch-ups are pretty much just my lipstick. That's how I want my makeup to last. You know, I'm not someone that fusses. I'm someone that's always on the go, and I don't look in the mirror that often. So I just hope that whatever I'm going to put on in the morning is going to last. But I find when I eat, or obviously lipstick, everything ends up in this area. So whatever extra that I can put on the chin area, around my nose, because we all blow our nose during the day, and then the rest is to brighten up. But isn't that amazing? So this is the BK brush. Like I said, it's available on Amazon. They have sales all the time, BK itself. This is the A506. It's called the Angie Hot and Flashy. And a lot of you told me you have her whole collection. She has a whole line and it's great. I ended up picking up 3 or 4 BK. The foundation, the large foundation one that's on an angle, another one that was for bronzers and stuff. I have so many brushes to try, and I ended up buying them and I never played with them. So it's crazy too. All right, so that's that. So now we're going to set everything before we go on to our next step. So the next product that I ended up getting was the dupe for Charlotte Tilbury. And I saw a very large influencer on TikTok, which I only try to watch that at night. It's more for entertainment than anything, because I really feel that if I want to learn anything, YouTube is the place that I go. But I thought the person said it was really, you couldn't tell the difference. So for me, I've never tried the Charlotte Tilbury powder like this. I've tried the eyeshadows, her mascara, her setting spray is fantastic, but so are her prices. So because I have the boxes, I use the boxes to fill that void of trying new things. And it really has been working out well for me. And it's been keeping me in a really good budget place. Now, however, Ipsy has been killing it with getting the brands and really, really coming out with some major fantastic deals. Like my next thing I want to do is play with the NARS edit that I ended up getting. So I'm really excited about that. So this I'm putting just where the concealer was, just to keep it brightened. And then I'm going to try, we got from Sophie, and this also comes with a safety seal. I'm just going to put back in. From Sophie and Mabel. Wow, this is beautiful. Very brightening. I'm hoping you're seeing all this on camera. From what I can see here in the mirror, it definitely brightened up that area. So, and these I also get on Amazon, I shared with you last time. So we got those two done. Now we're going to go into the Sophie and Mabel. This is supposed to be an Almond Whisperer. And this is, I think, just a setting powder, a finishing powder. So that might be different than a setting powder. And again, I'm going to take the same puff just on the other corner. And then that's that shade there. And just, yeah, that's really dark. So I'm just going to press a little bit here to give me some color back to the face. And try not to go over the other powder. So this definitely has a tint to it and more of a peachy tone. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a big puffy brush and melt it all together. I think that's good. All right, now I'm just going to go quickly with my contour, which I share with you all the time. The one that I'm finishing up is from Contact Skin. To me, these are always great, as long as it's a little bit of a tone that's a little bit gray, and I go a little bit under where my hollows are, just so that I don't go too ham with my bronzer. And I just do a little bit on my temples, and then of course what's ever left on the brush to try to give a little bit more definition. And that's that. And then I'm going to take, which I also got in the add-on sections from Pat McGrath. This is the bronzer, and the shade that I have, it says Bronzer with Caution, Glamorous Glow, and Regal Radiance. I don't know if it has a shade in here. That's all it says on the back of the packaging here, but I'll show it to you. And then that is that gorgeous shade here. And then I'm just going to put a little on a brush. And then I always start in the back end here, and then whatever's left in the front. And then of course I wrap it around, and as we've been taught, you always do the number 3. Okay. And whatever's left over, I do on my eyebrows, my eyelids, a little down the nose. And then I just take my kabuki brush and just smooth it all around. Okay, so now we got some color back, we got some definition, and that's that. So now we're going to play with the blush that I also picked up in the add-ons. This was in the $6 section. I'm going to pull my good old favorite, which is from It Cosmetics. What I love about this one, it has a bit of a dome on it, and that's where it picks up the blush. And I'm going to pick it up first. There's a little bit of fallout here. I'm going to put a little bit on the back here, and because there's so much fallout, I'm going to put it a little bit on this towel that I have down here and just press it on that, and then start with the apples and work my way up again, almost into a C. That's really pretty. So I ended up, because my brush is so big, I ended up putting it on, I'll show you, I'll follow it here, that it's hitting on both. Then I have a paper towel right underneath me here that I'm pushing it all through in. Again, whatever's left over on the eyelids, and a little bit on the nose. Very pretty. I like that. Yeah, that's a really, really pretty color. So Kimchi is also a brand that I would highly recommend. I got a lot of fantastic deals in the shop, so keep your eyes open for this brand. It's absolutely fantastic. This is just to play. We got from the Allure box the Danessa Merrick's. This is the Yummy, and the shade that I got, I think is called Low Key. And this is really just to play, to see what it's all about. So I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my finger and just put a little bit here. so many of you picked up the pink one. I really had a tough time choosing between this one and that one, but this one I think has a really nice, I'll just put a little bit under the brows. Pretty. You notice it when you turn your head more so than on right on. So I think this is really pretty. It's almost like that little extra, wow, that's a little extra, you know, something special. So if you have it, I think it's great. Adds a little something, something. But if you don't, it's always nice to be able to play. And that was a choice, which is always a lot of fun. All right, so now we got that done. And I think that's it for the face. We can now go on to the eyes. So let me just quickly do a little spritz. Like I said, I'm using a bunch of different setting sprays, whatever I pull. This is from Real Her, and it says, hold on to your dreams. Let's make sure it's, yeah. That helps refresh in the middle, but it also helps to meld everything together. So quickly, I'm just gonna do my brows. As I share with you every brow pencil, all I do is really just follow mine, and then just give it a little bit more definition to fill in where areas are sparse, but I pretty much keep the same. I just follow it through. And then a little bit more in the front here. And then just the little spoolie to make sure everything combs through. And that's that. And then whatever I need to fix, I do off camera. All right, so we're done with that. We got all that going. On my lips, I started off with, which I've been sharing with you all month, I've been enjoying this Misho Beauty. This one's in the shade that's called Misho, which is really just a pinky. It's not sticky, it's just really, really hydrating and really, really pretty. But I did see somebody who has a darker complexion. They got in their box one that had more of a nudie color. And so definitely if I see this in the add-ons in the future in another shade, I will definitely pick it up because this was a power pick. So this was chosen for me in my boxes. So I'm really, really excited. I also got an email notification from Ipsy about the PR, but all it was tracking. So I don't know what I'm getting, but I'm definitely getting something from Ipsy for the month of April. I just don't know what. There's no communication at all. So keeping my fingers crossed, hopefully we'll have something before Choice Day, if it has something to do with the boxes. And you know me, I will make sure to sit down and film that with you guys. Now, the next thing that I wanted to play with was this. This I picked up in the add-on section for $3.50. It's from Beauty Creations. And so many of you shared with me that you get a lot of these type of palettes in another box that's called Ice Cream Beauty. So this is a lot of fun to be able to try. But this is normally a $25 palette that I got in the $3.50 section, which is crazy. So let's play with this here. Oh, let me do this because I forgot this last time also. I'm gonna put on my lids as a primer from Wonder Beauty. This I got in, I think, either Chic Beauty Box or at Ipsy. I'm really not sure which one. Let me just see if I have this other mirror that I can a little bit closer. Okay. Okay, and as I share with you all the time, these creams are really fantastic to give you that wash of color, but also if you have any discoloration on your eyes, it helps to even it all out. But it also is the type that doesn't crease throughout the day. So if you just put this on, and like I did, you know, the bronzer and the blush just over the eyes, if I would have done this first, that would have been giving me enough definition to go out, you know, to the supermarket and things like that. So now we're gonna play with the palette. So I'm going to start with on the top here, an all over color. So probably around this area here. And then I'm probably going to deepen it up with some of those peach tones, which is what I always seem to gravitate towards. And then let's just, yeah, this has a beautiful formula to it. Not a lot of fallout. And look how much coverage that lightest color just gave my lid. So that's with just the Wonder Beauty, and this is with a bit of the shadow. Really, really nice. Pretty. All right, now I'm just going to take a large fluffy brush, and I'm going to go to the next color that's right beside it to do a fake lid. So as I share with you all the time, my eyes are small, so I go above where my real natural crease is. And then I'm going to go to the next one, which is the shade that I absolutely love. And on this palette, I think it's called Squad. It's that beautiful, I don't know, I just love these orangey colors. And I'm using the very, very tip, and I'm going very lightly, because as I shared with you, as you get older, your lids go in the windshield wiper motion. They go with the brush. So we got to do really gentle if you want to continue to wear eyeshadow when you're a little bit older. The lids will be the first thing to start showing a little bit of that. So pretty, really, really pretty. And now I'm just going to go with a light brown to deepen up the edges with a pencil brush. And again, that little C area. A little bit halfway through on the bottom, and then we take a bigger blending brush and we just blend it all in. Blend away a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit more on this brush and just pat it in a little bit more and then blend. Yeah, that worked. Okay, and then we're going to take that same little brush and go in the middle with that same orange color. Give it a little bit more cohesiveness. Whatever's on top is on bottom. And then I'm going to take, there's a darker brown on the bottom, and I'm going to go my real outers, almost using it as a liner. And I go on a little bit of an angle so that it pulls my eye up. And gives it a little bit of a smokiness. I think that's really pretty. And now I'm simply going to take a flat shader brush, and I'm going to take something shimmery in here. So I think I'm going to stick with the peachy tones. So there's a peachy color here. that was right beside the orange. And then this other one that has a little bit of shimmer, I'm also gonna put that on in the inner corner of my eyes. So I'm gonna pull this. There's a lot of fallout with the shimmers. And go dead center. And I'm gonna show you it here. That's what it looks like without the spritz, but I always like to do a little spritz also, so I'm gonna do this other eye before the spritz as well. Okay, and now I'm just gonna take a spritz from, I'm gonna line both sides of my brush with the palette. So it's on both sides. And I'm gonna spritz both sides, and I'm gonna do one on one side and then one on the other. Just so that I make sure that what is here is gonna stay where I want it. And then I'm gonna flip the other side and do the other eye. And let me just do a close-up look. I think that's pretty. And then what I always do is I always go back to that first shade that we started the palette with on the upper. I think I'm gonna need to plug this back into the battery. Definitely feel that brown seems to fade away a little bit. Oh, no more. Yeah, I think that's good. And that's that. And then I take a small, really small pencil brush with some champagne type of color, which they have in this palette too. And then I just go into my inner corners here. And that always helps to brighten up the eye a little bit. Okay, and I think that also needs a little bit of a spritz, so we're gonna do that again. Yeah. Don't be afraid, because sometimes, you know, the lesser expensive palettes, you might need to work a little bit more to get the color payoff that you want, that you would get like on a more expensive palette. But to me, if you have the time and $3.50 to play, maybe with certain colors that you normally wouldn't play with, like for me, these really fuchsia colors and stuff, at one point I'll play with them, and I like to do that with a palette like this, as opposed to buying, you know, a completely pink palette and then you don't end up using it and you spent your dollars there. So, and that's the final look that's on the eyes. So I think it did a really, really nice job. All right, and now finally I'm gonna get to a mascara that I promised you guys I would share with you on screen. And this is the Make Up Forever. And then one side has a brush and the other side has the thinner applicator. And with the thinner applicator, that will give me my length, and then the brush will give me my volume. So I have a 10 times mirror here, so I can see really up close and get every single lash. And I probably am gonna do 2 coats of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the camera here. I'm gonna give you an up close of the first coat. Then I'll do the other eye, and then I'll come back and we'll do the second coat of the first layer here. All right, be with you in a sec. Okay, and now I'm gonna do the second coat. Same small liner, same small brush on this side. for a second coat. So it's 2 coats, 1 coat. But my lashes on this side are a little bit nicer to me than on this side. This side takes me a lot longer because it's just completely different, my lashes on both sides. And now I'm going to go to the brush side and do a little bit with you here, and then I'll close off again and I'll come back to you when I do the second eye. But I want you to see that's just with that one, and then the difference when you put the brush through, it now will thicken up these lashes. So I find the length is what I get from the thinner wand, and then this thickens them up. Isn't that great? Really, really pretty. Really, really happy with this. All right, stick with me. I will be right back. Okay, so this is where we are now, and then I'm just going to take the brush and just quickly go on the lower line here, my lower lashes. And that's the difference from one eye to the other. Not putting any more product on. And that's that. So the last thing we're going to do is some liner and some lip gloss. And I think I'm going to try the Merit, which I haven't tried yet. And I have a Kevin O'Quan product here, so let me just dab off. And I initially go just above the lip line on my upper, and then I bring it back down to where my natural lip is. And you can see that it just gives it a little bit more definition. And then on the bottom, I just follow the line. I go a little bit under, and then bring it back up. All right, and then we're just gonna see what this is all about. So this is Merit, and I will definitely can't see the color here. I don't know which way, but I will definitely mark it in my pin the comments. I'll put what color this was or is. Oh, I think it was the nude 2. If it's not that, I'll pin that in the comments. I'll just do one side so you guys can see the color on a natural lip. Isn't that pretty? Very hydrating. I always put a little bit more in the center. Very, very pretty, very, very juicy. And that's it. So one last spritz. And we're good to go. So that's the next Get Ready With Me. We're trying some more new products. The next one that I want to do is going to be all the NARS products that we got, and then a couple of other things that if I didn't get it in that NARS edit, I will definitely sit down and do that. But that's it. So please share with me in the comments if you had the opportunity to try any of these products yet, and what your thoughts were on them, as well as if you are now adding them to your wants list, that the deals that I was able to pick up and get are now ones that are on your radar and that you've added them to your wants list as well. And that's it for this video, guys. So I think we did good. I think I'll do a little, maybe touch me up on some powder down here, but otherwise I think we did good. And that's it. So everyone, continue to stay safe and well. I hope you're enjoying these Get Ready With Me's, and hopefully it is something that you're enjoying. And it is something that I'm going to try to add when I have the time every month to share with you some of the products that we got in our boxes. I have some really good shorts coming up for you at the end of the month with the tower, so you get to see all the boxes on my bathroom floor of all the items that we got. I also did another another full video of me sharing with you all the makeup, and then hopefully that will come up after I've given you the opportunity to see it all on my face as well. And that's it. So if you've watched this all the way to the end, simply say, what can we say that we've watched it all the way to the end? Say, Get Ready With Me #2 for the month of March. And I'm happy that I've had the opportunity now twice to do this. And I think I'll be okay without doing too many touch-ups before the video call. So I think I was able to fit everything into today. I hope everybody is having a good choice day. Don't forget, if you haven't seen that video, to watch it and share, because that's what this channel is all about. It's about social sharing, where we take the time to share with each other about the brands, the products, the deals, and of course the spoilers on the subscription boxes that I'm enjoying, and hopefully you guys are too. And that is how this channel has been growing. So make sure, if you're not subscribed, to subscribe, because that's important for the growth. If you haven't given it a thumbs up, that's a good habit to get into when you arrive, when you see all the content that I make, that you immediately go to that thumbs up button, because hopefully it will find others who enjoy this type of content. They just haven't met Truewants just yet. So that's it. So take care, everybody. Continue to stay safe and well so we can enjoy this time together. And I will see you all soon again in my next one. Bye for now.